Well, let's start. I said this we are going to look at two things, inflation and then consumer price index. If you want to compare the general price of goods and services, that's consumers purchase. Okay, we use these things to make analysis. So we can say that last year, the general price of goods and services gone up by this rate. And this year, it is going up by this rate. So from consumer price index, we could deduce that, okay, so the prices of goods and services are generally going up, or the price of goods and services of a particular commodity is going up. So I want you to follow keenly, like I told you before the other meeting ended. Okay, we are going to look at price index. So we have what we call the consumer price index, which is quite popular, the producer price index, the GDP deflator, of which I've taught already. I'm sure there's only one that you may not have idea about it, and I'm going to introduce you to it. So please pay attention. This one involves a little bit of calculations, a little bit of mathematics. I've told you to get your books, pens and calculators with you. So we'll be going and we'll be doing some calculations. Let's move. Yeah, my network logged me out, but I'm back. Okay. Oh, you're not hearing me well. I'm back, so don't worry. Okay. Okay. So consumer price index measures the overall cost of the goods and services bought by a typical consumer. So we want to look at how much a consumer or the cost that a consumer incurred. Please, kindly, if you join, kindly mute. You join, kindly mute. Okay. We want to look at the cost that a consumer incurred in purchasing of goods and services. So anytime you want to measure the price or the cost that a particular consumer incurred in a year or within a particular time frame, we can use what we call consumer price index. Out of that, like I told you earlier, we can deduce whether the price of goods and services are going up or not. Every country uses it. Ghana uses it. If you go to the foreign countries, they even have a better version of it, where they can know that, okay, the goods and services are going up, or a particular goods and services are going up, and they can make comparison. Out of that, they can deduce the inflation rates. You get it? You get there, but they're not now. Okay. So we have some terms under what we call the consumer price index. We call something the fixed basket. Please look at this one. Call something the fixed basket. Okay. So when we say fixed basket, we want to look at the quantity of goods and services, or okay, in this case, let me use only the quantity of goods that a consumer will go to the market to purchase. Now, before you can measure whether things are in order when it comes to economics, we look at prices and we look at what quantities. So the basket is looking at the quantities that are in the market. Now you can see prices too here. Yes. So we fix the basket. We assume that the basket is fixed, meaning that if I'm going to the market to buy a particular quantity of kenke, like they've indicated here, that is my usual way of getting the kenke, meaning that if I eat 4 bottles of kenke every day, I'm fine. Are you with me? Good. And we find the prices. Okay. What is the price of a particular year? Let's say 2020. What's the price of kenke in 2020? Of course, because of inflation, one kenke is around 4 or 5 cedis. We are looking at the price of kenke too. Okay, so now we know quantity and we know what price. Okay, so it says that price of each of the goods and services in the basket must be determined for each time period. For each time period can be a month, can be a whole year too, or it can even be a quarter of the year, which is 6 months. Okay, but when you know the basket and you know the price, you can know how we compute consumer price index. So this table is a summary, will give us a summary of what you'll be doing. Here we have price. Okay, the price of kenke in 2011. Please, if you don't understand it, let me know, or you raise your hand, Barrister, please, I didn't get the side. I will briefly explain to you or for you. Here, 2011, the price of Kenke. Here, we said the person was consuming 4 Kenkes, right? So you write down 4 Kenkes and 2 fishes. We are continuing from that side. We are saying that 1 Kenke is what? 1 cedi. Okay. And 1 fish is what? 2 Ghana cedis. So the price of Kenke in 2011 is what? 1 cedi. And the price of fish in 2011, the same year, is what? 2 cedis. 2012, the price of Kenke, 2 cedis. Price of fish, 3 cedis. Price of fish in 2013, 4 cedis. Price of Kenke in 2013 is 3 cedis. So please, are you okay? Are you aligned with the prices of both Kenke and fishes?
Yes.
Are you okay? If you understand it very well and know the quantities you hear, we are saying 4 Kenke and 2 fishes. Okay. So we are going to compute what you call the basket cost. Now, some of you conflate this one with the consumer price index. After knowing the quantity, knowing the price, after knowing the quantity and knowing the price, what do? We have to compute what you call the basket cost. The basket cost means in 2011, what cost did, if a particular consumer was to purchase both Kenke and fishes, what was the cost that was incurred in purchasing these goods? If our emphasis, kindly mute. If you join, kindly mute. That's why I personally muted all of you. So however, if we want to look at the fact that, okay, we want to consider only Kenke, we may have to consider just this one. But in our scenario, they gave us 2 products or 2 goods, which was what? Kenke and fish. So Kenke was what? 4 cedis. 4 Kenkes, sorry. And the price of 1 Kenke is 1 Ghana cedis. 2 fishes, right? This is the quantity. And the price of 1 fish in 2011 was what? 2 Ghana cedis. I'm doing this with reference to what we did here and with reference to these 2 things. So don't get confused if you're seeing these 2 here. So in 2011, you're going to multiply the price of what? 1 fish. Okay, here is Kenke. So the price of 1 Kenke, the price of Kenkes by the price, the price of Kenke by the quantities of what? Kenke. So they said 4 Kenkes, right? And how much is it? 1 cedi. So 1 times 4. We are talking about 2 products here, Kenke and fish. I'm sure the person who did this is a gun. So we go back to the fish too. What's the price of fish? 2 cedis. And what's the quantity that was given to us? 2 cedis. When we are done, we add the 2. That will give us what? Our basket cost. Our basket cost is not the price index. The basket cost will help us compute for the price index. Let's move on. Now, what is our cost in 2012? Our cost in 2012, we said 1 Kenke was what? 2 Ghana cedis, right? Good. And how many Kenkes were given? 4. Good. The price of fish was what? 3 Ghana cedis. How many fishes were given? 2. So we multiply this. And then we add them up. We have 14 Ghana cedis. Good. Let's come to 2013. 2013 to the same thing. The price of fish or the price of Kenke is 3 Ghana cedis. Now, how many quantities were given? 4, right? So 3 times 4. Let's go to fishes. What's the price of fish in 2013? It is what? 4 cedis. How many quantities were given? 2. When we are done, we add them up. So these are our costs in the years respectively. Becca, I'll come back to you. 2011, we had 8 cedis. 2012, we had 14 cedis. 2013, we have 20 cedis. So these are our basket costs for the years respectively. Who doesn't know how to compute these? Yes, Becca, you have a question. Your hand was up.
Barrister,
Yes.
please, the basket, is it the quantity or the price? The basket shows the quantity or the price of the goods.
Okay. the basket shows the cost. The price may not be the cost. Okay, so when we are talking about basket, we are looking into consideration how much is the price of the product and how much am I demanding? How much is the price of the product and how much am I demanding? That will give me my basket what cost. So in our scenario, they said the person demanded for 4 balls of what kenke, and the price of 1 kenke is what 4 cedis. The price of 1 kenke is 1 cedi according to 2011. So I multiply the 4 balls of kenke by the price of kenke, which is what 1 cedi. And they said 2 fishes, right? And 1 fish costs 2 Ghana cedis. So I multiply the price of the fish by what? The quantity. So this whole thing you're seeing here is the cost of buying 2 kenkes and 4 fishes. Sorry, 2 fishes and 4 kenkes. Why do I keep interchanging them? Like, are you okay? So you're talking about basket, you're talking about it's a cost. It's not really about price. Yes, anything else? Any question? Okay, so let's continue. If you understand the cost, initially I told you they're going to give you the price, you're going to give you the quantity. Now you computed the cost involved in each of them. So I hope you're following. That's why I'm taking my time. You're making those too. So let's go to the final one, which is what the sorry, consumer price index. Consumer price index. Okay. Consumer price index, just like we did for the GDP, how we do for the real GDP. Okay. We choose a particular base here. Now, the reason we look at economists are interested in the base year is because of comparison. We want to know whether the economy is performing or is not performing. Okay, so where have I gone? So in computing the price index, consumer price index, we have to look out for our base year. Our base year. The base year may be given in the question, or you may have to define one of them to be base years. I repeat, to compute the price index, you need the base year, just like you do for the real GDP. So if you want to get the base year, it may be stated in the question, or you will have to define. So let's assume that I wasn't given the base year. I will have to say that, okay, in this scenario, I will take 2012 what as my base year. But in this example that I'm using, they gave us a base year of what? 2011. Are we following? Good. They gave us a base year of 2011. Now, how do we compute CPI? We are looking at the cost of it. We are going to use the cost that we discussed earlier to compute the CPI. So anytime you're given a table or something like this, you have to follow these patterns. So quantity, cost, basket cost, then CPI. Are we following? Have you seen the trend? So these are the steps. Good. Now, what is the formula for CPI? CPI is the cost of basket in current year. If I want to compute the basket for 2011, what was the cost? The cost was what? 8 Ghana cedis. Let me go back. The cost here was what? 8 Ghana cedis. The cost of the basket in current year over the cost of basket in base year. So here they chose 2011 as their base year. So we are going to have this 8 Ghana cedis over the same 8 Ghana cedis times 100. Why? Because one, when we completed the basket for 2011, we had 8 Ghana cedis. And now we've chosen the same 8 Ghana cedis as our base year because we chose 2011, right? We chose 2011. So our base year, the price will be 8 Ghana cedis. So 8 over 8 times 100. From there, we can get our value. So this is the CPI for 2011. Some of you work up to this level and you think you are done. No, you're not done. This is the CPI for 2011. What is the CPI for 2012? Now, I've already told you we've chosen a base year of what? 8 Ghana cedis, right? So when we completed the basket for 2012, what did we get? 14 Ghana cedis. We had 14 Ghana cedis. So the 14 Ghana cedis that we had all over what's the base year, which was what? 8 Ghana cedis times 100. Now, after this computation, we have our CPI for 2012 to be equal to what? 175. Okay, the base number is actually selected. We don't have a base number, but we have a base here. So come to this side. The person who has this question. Let me come to this side. Okay, this was how we compute. I don't know whether you just joined. This was how we computed our cost. First of all, we use the cost to find the CPI. And in computing it, the cost of 2011 was what? 8 Ghana cedis. I hope you know how to compute it. So when we got here, the question was like, we should use 2011 as our base year. So if the question doesn't give it to you, like how they've given it here, you will have to state one of them as the base year. Okay, let me move forward. So 2012, our current cost is what? 14. What's the base year cost? 8 Ghana cedis times 100. We have this. 2013. What is the current cost? What did we get here? 20, right? And what is the base year? The base year given was 2011. And its cost is 8 Ghana cedis. So you come here, the 20 Ghana cedis over the 8 Ghana cedis times 100. And you have 250 Ghana cedis. So this is how you compute CPI for every year. Who doesn't understand? Who doesn't understand? Any question on this? Yes, you have question. Right, and Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You said if the base year is not stated, you have to choose it yourself.
Yes, you have to define a base year.
So if I choose 2012 and someone choose 2013, are you going to get the same answer?
If you get 2000, no, you're not going to get the same answer, because if you divide 14, let's say if you chose, let's say 2013, like you're saying, it means that 20 Ghana cedis will become the denominator. You get it?
Yes.
Yes, meaning that you're not going to get the same answer. You're not going to get the same answer.
So is the marking scheme going to provide space for
yes, please,
both or the three?
So for the marking scheme to avoid that
Thank
stress, they normally provide the base here.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Thanks.
You're welcome. HP. I don't know whether you're a laptop or.
Yeah. Hello, Barista.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
I'm listening
so
to you.
with the CPI, when you are calculating for the CPI, does it mean that we use just the real GDP?
The real GDP.
Sorry, the CPI. Yes.
We use the basket cost to compute CPI. Just that.
But the basket cost, if they give us a table and then they ask us to calculate with nominal GDP and the real GDP, and they said the cost of the basket is the price and the quantity, right?
Yes.
So now that we have the nominal GDP and then the real GDP, which one are you supposed to use? Are you supposed to use the real GDP? That's with a base year, or you're supposed to use a normal?
Okay, thank you very much. I think with your question, I've seen it in the past question. Okay, I know where you're heading towards. Moving along, we are going to meet a scenario where you're going to give you a data response, and you're going to use nominal and real GDP to compute for CPI. But in this scenario, somebody is new to it, so I don't want to go there now. I beg you, you get there and you understand it. Okay, so go with us. Somebody is asking, how do we calculate using the GDP deflator? Yes, please, you do that. I want to make sure everybody understands up to this level before we enter into that realm. Yes, somebody's hand is up. You can unmute and talk, Gloria. You see, some of your mates don't really get this part. That is why I'm taking my time to explain it for them. I will come back to what you're asking me, but I want everybody to get this part very well. Go ahead.
Okay, so with the CPI, I've come across a question where, like, let's say there are 2 years, 2011 and 2012, and let's say the goods are bread and fish. So in the table, you the quantity and the price for both bread and fish for 2011 and 2012. However, when they move to the first question, like let's say 2A, they tell us to fix the quantity of the basket at a different quantity, which is not in the or the one in the question.
Okay, I get you. So sometimes some of these calculations I've not seen the question you're asking though, but I know where you're coming from. It's just a simple change of subjects. Okay. Some of them are simple change of subjects. If you could send that question to me personally in my DM so that I take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. But when you are given a question, maybe like how you asked me, you've been given the quantity and the price, and you've been told to compute for this and that, and you're asking you to get the prices of, how do you call it? You said they give you the CPI.
No, they don't give you the CPI. They give you the table, the years, the commodity. But when you move to the next question, they are like set the quantity of, let's say, bread to 3 and then fish to 5, which is different from the one in the table.
Okay, sure. Did they give you the base here in the question?
Yes.
Did they give you base here in the question?
Yeah. They gave the base.
So the base here will help us find the empty numbers. Okay, so kindly unmute. We'll go through that. The base here will help you find the other values. Let me take Arthur. Arthur, your hand is up. You're muted. So I've seen your question. Okay, that's why I asked if the base year was given. If the base year was given, that's what I'm saying. When they give you mathematics, don't think mathematics is one way, like how they're going to give it to you this way. No. Sometimes you have to think and even do some change of subjects before you arrive here. Okay, we will go back. Please, the meeting will end in 1 minute time so that we join again. That'll be the second and last session. I don't stress students. Yeah, Solo.
Barrister.
Yeah.
Hello, Barrister.
Yes, I can hear you.
Me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry, my question is, how does the CPI affect the economy?
Okay. So I'll answer in the next section. Okay. This session is almost over. I'm expecting. So how does the CPI affect the economy? Thank you very much. I'll answer it for you. So when the meeting ends,